Once again, the president calls on Congress to do something before another child is senselessly killed in a preventable act of gun violence. Again, we need to do something.
Aren't you guys tired of covering this? Aren't you guys tired of being here and having to cover all of these mass shootings? I'm from Highland Park, Illinois. My son and I survived a mass shooting over the summer. I am in Tennessee on a family vacation with my son, visiting my sister-in-law. I have been lobbying in D.C. since we survived a mass shooting in July. I have met with over 130 lawmakers. How is this still happening? How are our children still dying, and why are we failing them?
Pain and anger tonight. A deadly school shooting near Nashville today. A former student killed 6 before being gunned down by police at the Covenant School. Evelyn Dykehouse, Hallie Scruggs, William Kinney, all just 9 years old. Cynthia Peak, Catherine Kuntz, Mike Hill, all in their 60s. These are the 6 people killed by a shooter today at the private Christian school just outside of Nashville.
When we send our kids to school or to any place of safety, we expect them to live, learn, have fun, and come back from that day's experience. We don't anticipate things like this.
3 children, a custodian, a substitute teacher, and the head of schools. New tonight in our breaking news, we're hearing from the school for the first time. Our community is heartbroken. We're grieving tremendous loss and are in shock coming out of the terror that shattered our school and church. We're focused on loving our students, our families, our faculty and staff, and beginning the process of healing. Police saying the shooter was a 28-year-old former student identifying as transgender who had detailed maps of the school as well as surveillance and entry points. Police say all the doors were locked, but the shooter shot through one to get in. Within 15 minutes of receiving a 911 call, police were in the school, found the shooter on the 2nd floor, and ended the threat. Police just releasing some new information within the last hour. They say the shooter entered the Covenant building after shooting out the glass. As officers responded to the Covenant Presbyterian campus, the shooter fired on the arriving vehicles from a 2nd-story window. You can see the damage to some of the police cars. Our Sam Luther is in Nashville, where he's been keeping us updated throughout the day and into tonight. He spoke with police who say it was their quick response that likely saved more lives.
A tragic night here in the Green Hills community of Nashville as the Covenant School community mourns the loss of 6 of their own. It was just after 10 a.m. when Nashville Metro Police responded to shots fired at the Covenant School.
So we know there were 2 AR-style weapons, one a rifle, another was an AR-style pistol, and the other was a handgun.
Police say former student 28-year-old Audrey Hale went through a side door, shooting into the school before killing 3 9-year-old students, a substitute teacher, janitor, and the school's headmaster. As for a motive, police have leads.
We have a manifesto, we have some writings that we're going over that pertain to this day, the actual incident. We have a map drawn out of how this was all going to take place.
Just minutes after, Metro Police heard shots from the 2nd floor of the school and fatally shot Hale.
14 minutes, I believe under fire, running to gunfire.
A quick response, police says, avoided more life lost.
We would not wait. I was hoping this day would never ever come here in this city, but we would never wait to make entry and to go in and to stop a threat, especially when it deals with our children.
As Metro Police continue to investigate throughout the night here outside the Covenant School, they hope that people turn their attention not to the unknown elements of this investigation, but the 6 lives lost. In Nashville, Sam Luther, WVLT News.
We are hearing from some of our friends tonight here in East Tennessee, and it's clear some of the victims were well known to East Tennesseans. Police searching the shooter's home. They took the search seriously. They broke down the door, used flashbangs to enter the house. The shooter living with parents. This was the scene law enforcement closed down the road the home is on. Police found maps of the school inside the suspect's home, surveillance, and plan of attack. The suspect had written down additional locations police are investigating. We were also learning that just moments ago, Metro Police did release body cam footage that shows this is some surveillance footage not body cam right there. There's surveillance footage. That would be the suspect's car driving to the school. The suspect, again, identified as a 28-year-old former student. Police say the suspect, the shooter, came with an AR-style rifle, that's an assault rifle, style rifle, an AR-style pistol, and another handgun. The doors to the school were locked. The shooter blasted in, killed 3 students and 3 faculty members. We don't want to go too in-depth into the video. We don't want something to show up that we don't want on our air. We need to be responsible with this. Thanks for dumping out, guys. All right, let's go ahead and get over to meteorologist Ben Cathy. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ted. Well, we've got a quiet night out there, and we've got cooler weather on tap. But for now, there's still some more sunshine, even though it will be noticeably cooler on your Tuesday. Want you to know there are 2 shots at freezing temperatures. You always hear about the dogwood winter, the blackberry winter, the locust winter. We're getting closer and closer to that. Unheard of? Not by any means, but you do want to be careful with your pets and plants. Slowly increasing clouds by 5 to 6 will keep us from falling too much tonight. We'll wash away some of those clouds soon. You see we're down to about 45 in the valley and upper 30s elsewhere. Once the clouds break tomorrow night, it is going to be chilly into Wednesday morning. 35 is the low, 36 on Thursday. Heading into the rest of the work week, we got lots of sunshine. Are you hearing it in my voice? In Ted's voice. The pollen is out. We'll break down the best time to wash that pollen off the car in the car wash forecast and a look at more weekend storms where they could be strongest across the country in our own backyard. We'll do that coming up in about 10 to 11 minutes. Ted?
All right. Thank you very much, Ben. We appreciate it. We're also looking at some videos that we received from Knox County school employee using racial slurs inside a classroom. Knox County Schools confirming they've placed somebody on administrative leave. No faces visible in the video. However, there's clear audio of the man using a slur multiple times, with students arguing with him. Knox County Schools telling us they're investigating, so they're unable to comment further. They add KCS does not tolerate any instance of racism. We're working on getting more information on the teacher and more about what happened as well. One person recovering tonight after getting trapped. Fire crews in Knoxville responding to a home in North Knox where you can see there a deck collapsed and someone got trapped underneath it. They managed to rescue that person, get him to the hospital for treatment. All lanes of the interstate are back open on I-75 southbound. A big crash shut down all lanes for a while. Traffic was backed up for hours. At one point, our map showed traffic backed up about 10 miles. Loudoun County officials say at least one person injured in the crash. Highway Patrol is investigating. One man's in custody tonight after police say he stole mail in Campbell County. The officer's Patrick Leach admitted to opening about 30 mailboxes. Detectives searched his home and found hundreds of pieces of mail from various addresses. Sheriff Barton says further criminal charges are expected. They're partnering with the U.S. Postal Service inspector on that case. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office needs your help in finding a suspect. They say the owner of that truck stole a golf cart from the Anchors Down campground on Highway 139. The cart was red, black and red seat covers and flashing lights underneath, so kind of customized. If you know anything about it, inside the WVLT News app, you'll find the phone number to call. Jury is set for the 2 teens accused of killing Austin East High School student Stanley Freeman Jr. Freeman, one of 5 Austin East students killed in 2021. 15-year-old Rashawn Jordan and 17-year-old DeAndre Davis are accused of killing Freeman while the teen was leaving school. In an earlier hearing, Judge Tim Irwin ruled that Jordan and Davis would be tried as adults, ruling the acts were too violent to be tried in juvenile court. Irwin said the murder was planned and organized, describing the accused killers as soldiers on a mission. Stanley Freeman Jr. was a 16-year-old student at Austin East. Investigators say he was leaving school on his way to work at McDonald's when he got shot. He drove away but later crashed his car. Opening statements start tomorrow morning at 9. Our Ellie Bird will be following that trial. A meat packer's recalling almost 2 tons of beef after E. coli was found in a sample. It was packed on February 16th by a Kansas-based Elkhorn Valley Packing, shipped to retailers, restaurants in more than 9 states. No reports of people getting sick. If you have it, throw it out or return it to the store. Tornadoes ripping through parts of Mississippi. How survivors are going to try to recover.
And from the same storm complex that brought us all those strong storms on Friday, your rain coverage goes up towards the end of the week. More early weekend storms after a frost freeze threat. Up next.
This is huge. Big Ears Festival returns to Knoxville this week. It's one of the biggest festivals of its kind in the world. Dozens of artists putting on a couple hundred shows from all around the world. They're going to play at different venues across the city. It starts Thursday. Kristen Allen tells us more.
At Big Ears Music Festival, you can hear a little bit of everything.
I'm a singer-songwriter and a performance artist.
Adeem the Artist is one of the dozens of acts playing at Big Ears this year.
Tiny little Gene on a trampoline. I was a preteen Adeem.
We can't wait for the weekend. We're super excited for everybody to be here and experience what I think is going to be our most amazing festival yet.
Ashley Capps is the executive director of Big Ears Music Festival. This year will be its 10th year bringing an eclectic musical mix to Knoxville.
I'll have to admit that when we launched the festival in 2009, I never imagined that it would have so much traction and resonance with fans.
12 different venues will be a part of this year's festival, including the Knoxville Civic Auditorium, the Bijou Theater, and the Tennessee Theater.
It's just an unfolding experience that can lead you in all sorts of different directions.
Attendance is expected to be up 50% this year, with 7,500 people attending the festival's 200 shows. For Adeem, it's a chance to celebrate culture and individuality with both music lovers and artists from around the world.
I am from the American South. That's where I come from. I'm a 7th generation North Carolinian. And so having that as the basis of where my values come from, is huge in informing the type of music that I make.
In Knoxville, Kristen Allen, WVLT News.
Your first alert forecast with meteorologist Ben Cathy.
Lots of sunshine out there heading into your Tuesday and Wednesday, but we do have a couple cooler nights that I want you to be aware of because historically we're not done with those cold snaps. Why is it a big deal? Well, your comfort, of course, but also your plant survivability, and you may want to bring in the pets Wednesday and Thursday, 35, 36 respectively. All right, something to clear the air. Beautiful clear sky on the recently reopened Klingman's Dome camera. This is the first time it's been open in months and months and months. And Emily Davis from Great Smoky Mountains National Park tells me that the Klingman's Dome Road should be open on April the 1st. It's open to get over on 441 this weekend on the way to Cherokee for a story on mountain ramps. It closed because of the weather a few days ago. Off to school, a lot quieter this time with the weather. 45, cool but not cold yet. Here's that customized forecast where you live. We take you to the microclimates of East Tennessee. It's all about the elevation. You can actually see that on the topography there. 64 Tellico Plain, 63 Maryville, 56 in Jamestown. Jamestown, more than double the elevation of Knoxville in places and quite a bit above the elevation of Gatlinburg, believe it or not. They actually grow Christmas trees out there. 60 Maynardville, 58 Jellicoe, 59 Hartford, 51 high up in the Smokies in the Trout Streams, where I'll be tomorrow. So Jacob will be in for me tomorrow night. Here's how frost forms. You know this, near or below freezing temps. That part's obvious. Pollen's getting me. Clear skies, calm winds, you need those too. And we'll have variable light winds. So widespread frost is a tough question. Patchy frost is a near certainty. Heading into your quieter Friday, there is a severe thunderstorm risk here out along the Mississippi River Valley. For us, we'll wait and see if the risk is extended, but future rainfall potential is mostly into your Friday and then into your Saturday, looking pretty soggy in the morning, but we've got some more sunshine heading into the weekend. So Friday itself, mostly late night into the overnight gusty thunderstorms. Some could be strong to severe. It is that time of the year. And this is what you either do want to see, so you know what's the culprit, or you don't want to see because it makes you want to sneeze. Mold at a medium level. We had a lot of rain in the month of February and some recently too. Extremely high tree pollen count. Should be in the 10 or 11 range. I think it goes to 12. And in the first alert 8-day planner, our best chance to wash away the pollen naturally is Saturday. The best time to wash the car is any of the next 3 days. May want to do it a little bit later, as we're at 35 on Wednesday, 36 on Thursday. I'm going to have to go steal another of Ted's lozenges. I'm going to own a whole pack here soon. 74 on Monday, more upper 70s heading into Tuesday at 77.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. Folks, more of our breaking news for you. We now have some surveillance video from the school today where the school shooting happened. We do want to warn you, we are going to show the doors being shot in. We're going to show the shooter entering the school. We're not going to show any kids. We're not going to show anything past that. We will stop it at that point. Just want you to be able to get an idea of what did happen, how it happened, and who is involved. Let's take a look at some of the video now. This is, again, what we have. This is at Covenant School, just outside of Nashville. There's the vehicle that the shooter, police identified as Audrey Hale, a 28-year-old, with maps of the schools, surveillance of the schools, a plan of attack. The doors were all locked at this private Christian school, the Presbyterian school. So Audrey Hale shot through the doors and came into the school. This just gives you an idea that the alarms must have been going off in the school and that people were in hiding. And it was a slow and difficult process. 5 officers eventually entered that school about 15 minutes after the 911 calls went out. They didn't wait. They went into the school, ended the threat, but not before. 6 people were killed, 3 students and 3 staff members. Of course, there's much more video that needs to carefully be gone through and more facts that we need to decide what is worth talking about on TV in such a difficult, personal, and brutal situation. Weather, incredibly difficult over the weekend. Severe thunderstorm watches up for parts of the day today in Georgia after devastating tornadoes ripped through a lot of the southeast. 26 people at least were killed. Towns flattened. Here's Mike Helgren.
Fast rising water and the threat of a dam failure forced evacuations downstream from Heads Creek Reservoir about 45 miles south of Atlanta. Since Sunday, storms have pounded the area and tornadoes touched down in western Georgia, destroying about 30 homes.
The whole house was shaken.
It was the same system that Friday night obliterated communities in western Mississippi. Before and after satellite photos show how much was lost in the town of Rolling Fork.
Believe it or not, this was a bedroom, that also was a bedroom.
Eric Thompson rescued his mother, who rode out the storm in this closet.
She said as soon as she sat down in the closet, it just came and swept through the whole house.
Mississippi is one of the poorest states in the U.S., and this is one of the poorest areas of the state. And that's what makes donation centers like this one so important.
We've had people come all the way from Minnesota and Wisconsin that have just come down and within 24 hours we're here wanting to say, hey, let me help.
With so much of the town gone, many have nowhere to live or work. But college student Armin Andrews is hopeful.
Do you think there's a future for Rolling Fork?
I do.
He knows rebuilding will take years.
We're not going to let this stop us.
Teams with FEMA say they're working with the governor to find housing solutions and are promising to stay as long as needed.
Well, spring weather can be brutal. It can be very nice. We can have some great warm temperatures. This is the time of year a lot of people start planting flowers. We did some over the weekend, but we do have the cool snap coming again. Ben has been telling us about that. So the manager at Stanley's Greenhouse giving some tips if you're already itching to get that garden going.
Well, now's a good time to plant hardy plant materials. So trees, shrubs, perennials, anything that's hardy in our zone here is fine to plant right now. It's just kind of in that gray area for the summer annuals and anything that's not hardy.
She says it's fine if you've already planted your spring stuff. Just cover the plants with a cloth or a bed sheet and protect them if it gets especially cold. Paige Dower coming in with sports next.
On the diamond, it's a big weekend for baseball and softball. They both won their SEC home openers. And for the Vols, it was a good time to get some time back on the home field. Tony Vitello's squad dropped their SEC opening series against the Mizzou Tigers, then responded with a sweep against the 12th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies. Each game getting out of a bind. Hunter Ensley says this is their greatest asset, is having time for a team that has a lot of new faces.
Everybody just being more relaxed, more at bats, a little better weather, and playing better defense. Pitchers threw it better this weekend, but if we can keep doing that, we'll win more games.
You're going to get knocked down, so it's important to receive blows the right way and respond in the right way, and it was a good response week.
We'll take the diamond 4:30 tomorrow evening. And they're ranked among the top teams in the country. That's your Lady Vols softball team. Karen Weekly's Lady Vols continued to roll as they took 2 of 3 from rival Alabama over the weekend. The rubber match 7-5 in the Lady Vols' favor on Sunday. Tennessee returns to Lee Stadium tomorrow night at 6 p.m. against ETSU. Well, the dance continues for a few inside Climate Pledge Arena as teams like Virginia Tech and Ohio State battle it out for a position in the Final Four match. Well, tonight they face those third-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, and Virginia Tech, they got the win 84-74. A couple stats there. Georgia Moore again shooting lights out next to Liz Kitley with those Virginia Tech ladies who, of course, bounced our Lady Vols out of the tournament. But few were even confident that the Lady Vols would make it to the Sweet 16. But this team, they never lacked the belief that they were good enough to make it. But an inconsistent performance for the Lady Vols kept them from advancing. But through the tears and pain of exiting the tournament, it'll be what fuels them heading into next season.
We can take this feeling and, propel us into this next season, honestly. Just taking what we feel now and, being proud of getting here. Now, how can we take that and, make it to the Elite 8 now? Because we've gone back-to-back Sweet 16s. How can we, take that step forward and go to the Elite 8? I think this feeling that we're feeling now is going to help us.
Despite struggling through their tough schedule, they persevered, returning to the SEC championship game and a Sweet 16 appearance. Now it's on to next season, where the likes of Tamara Key and Rakia Jackson will be back in the orange and white.
Here is your First Alert 8-day plan. A couple things stand out, right? A lot of sunshine, couple of cold nights, 35 and 36, then late night storms into Saturday morning, but we do warm up a little bit, 77 a week from tomorrow.
I appreciate it. News continues in the morning at about 4:30, just a few hours away, and always online. Thanks for joining us.